Live.
Hi.
Hi everyone, it's Amanda, the Traveling Realtor, and I am here today with Mr. Brian Pate.
And we're here with Jim Valvano, who is Don't Give Up, Don't Ever Get Up, hugging Derek Wittenberg.
Is that something from North Carolina?
That's North Carolina State. They won the national championship.
I am so not in
You don't know
sports.
who Jim Valvano
I know,
is?
how bad is that?
Oh my God. We're done.
I know,
We're done.
he's leaving me, We're all finished here. So, yes. So we're in Raleigh, North Carolina today. That's where Brian lives and works and everything else.
And plays.
And plays. Does everything in Raleigh.
There you go.
It's actually, aren't you the mayor?
No. I was a town commissioner.
You're something in Wake Forest.
I was a town commissioner in Wake Forest. I actually live about 15 minutes north of Raleigh, so about 15 minutes from where we are right now.
Yes.
You can see it from here if you look out the window.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yep, absolutely.
So I wanted to bring you on today, Brian, because we did a CE cruise, a real estate education cruise, CE credit last year. We had an amazing trip. We went to the Bahamas.
Yes.
And then we went to Bermuda, which was like really cool.
Most definitely.
And so we're planning our cruise for this year as well. We're going to be going out in October. And we're going to tell you all about that towards the end of this video.
We have to wait?
We do. Yes, we have to wait.
Keeping you in suspense.
So I wanted to bring Brian on because he was our CE instructor last year, and I was blown away at how much knowledge he has in the real estate industry, but also in the investment background. And so, Brian, I just want to kind of start out with your background in real estate, period. How did you get into this crazy profession?
Wow. I got into I took a class for pre-licensing in 1993. Back when there were no computers in the real estate business, back when you didn't take your state exam on computer. And I had my pre-license class from a guy named George Bell in North Carolina, who just finished up his 6 years term on the North Carolina Real Estate Commission. And I told him one day in class that I thought he was catering to baby boomers and he wasn't teaching to Gen Xers. And he says, well, if you think you can do it, you should figure out a way to connect with Gen Xers. And I said, okay. And a year later, he said, I want you to substitute for me in my class. And he gave me about 48 hours notice to teach 20 hours of material. So that's kind of how I got thrown into teaching. But I've been licensed since 1993. This will tell you how old I am. I'm a dinosaur. I chose my first office because they had a flat paper fax machine. It wasn't the rolled up thing that you had to flatten out to make a Xerox copy of. You had to actually print it out on a printer. So it's kind of cool. That was high tech back in those days.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a little different.
It's been a while. We didn't have lock boxes. You made the appointment directly with the agent and you had to go pick up the key and then go show the house, then deliver the key. That's when I hired my first assistant. All she did was pick up keys and meet me at the next house.
Wow.
So things have changed.
I heard New York actually is still on that program. New York City.
Yeah, the city still does that for security purposes. So that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
But, here in North Carolina, that can be tough if you're showing houses in Durham and then you got to drive another 30 minutes to Raleigh and then 45 minutes to Clayton. And, it's crazy.
Absolutely.
So there are people these days that are showing 20 houses in a single day. You couldn't have done that back then.
No.
So
not at all.
We did have roads. We did have cars, just for the record. I'm not that old yet. Trying.
So, Brian, most of my followers are investors or they're investor realtors.
So sorry.
So you taught an amazing class on investments. It was the investment CE class. If you guys haven't taken an investment CE class, it is amazing. It really opens your eyes to, the ability to be able to have long-term rental properties and create that passive income, which when you think about passive income, that's kind of the first thing that my mind goes to is like, oh, how many long-term rental properties do I need to have? And so Brian's class is really good on that. So do you want to tell a little bit about your investment background?
Well, I've had multiple investments in both vacation rentals and more permanent style rentals. And then I also assist with a couple of investment groups on buying, running their numbers for them, in some cases selecting properties for them. But the whole game is understanding the fact that you are never going to get rich in the real estate business by selling homes to other people. You have to have the 7 streams of income, as you hear about. Malcolm Gladwell talks about it in Think and Grow Rich, and a lot of other books reference the 7 streams of income. And you have to understand that it's not just selling houses. That's one anchor piece, but you have to have, the investments, you have to have the stocks and the bonds, you have to have the whatever outside investments. I for example, have an investment in a title insurance company and a mortgage company, just bought into an insurance company. So you have to build up those investment lines so that they're paying you at different times. You don't want things that just pay off quarterly. And so the investment property gives you the opportunity to do that. And what we basically teach you is how to build a millionaire portfolio in as little as 7 years in that class. It's called The Secrets of Residential Investing. And you can find that class. It's listed on the Real Estate Commission's website. And one of the big things that we're getting ready to do, we're going public with that class. We're going to turn it into a 2.5-hour course for people in the general public, so that if you're not a realtor, you can still take the class without having to sit through some of the legal stuff. So that's going to be a big opportunity for people also. We're going to take that public beginning July 1 this year. So that's going to make a huge difference also.
That is going to be huge. I'm always saying, like, doing the work once and getting paid is okay. That's what most real estate agents do. Mm-hmm. But doing the work once and getting paid over and over and over again, that's where true wealth comes in.
Right. Well, and you talk about it with EXP Realty, meet with Keller Williams, and the way that they do their downlines with opportunities like that. And that's the way of the future. That's when you see new business models created, they're all doing that. It's not, a lot of people criticize companies like ours that as being the Amway of real estate. It's not like that. It's a revenue sharing model or a profit sharing model, however you label it. It's very similar in the way that once a month you get a check.
Absolutely.
And it's when the check's big enough. My revenue sharing check last month paid my mortgage payment. So when you can make advances like that, and especially the big key,
I'm not going to tell you what mine paid.
No, I don't want to hear it. The big thing though is that what people don't realize is if you position yourself where you don't have a lot of money outgoing every month, that check can go directly into a retirement account and grow at an 11-12% rate to basically subsidize your investment properties. So you've got some pieces that are there in mutual funds, group funds, index funds, things like that. And then you've got your real estate. Now you've got a portfolio that is pretty much bulletproof. Even if the market does go down, we've seen the stock market crash 10% in the last couple of weeks. And those that are balanced out really doesn't hurt them. That's the great thing about real estate. Only once in the last 55 years in recessions has the value of real estate gone down. And that was in the most recent one. It was an anomaly. We know that it was an anomaly, and it'll likely never happen again. So even in the downturns and recessions, of the last 6 recessions, 5 of the last 6 increased in value 1.25% to 1.75%. So there's always that drive to get into the real estate because it's such a solid investment. Even Warren Buffett has said recently that if he had the opportunity and didn't have to manage the properties himself and fix up the properties himself, that he would jump right into it and buy 300,000 units. So when the guys that are the most relevant investors in the country are saying that, we should be listening. We don't have to do it on that big of a scale, but on a smaller scale, if you're an individual investor and you buy one house every other year, one investment property every other year for the next 4 years, and you own your personal property, you've easily got $1.5 to $2 million worth of real estate assets that you can then leverage for other things that you need for kids' education, healthcare, long-term, et cetera. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They don't think about the long-term. They're checking out at the grocery store and they see the Reese's peanut butter cups and they go, ooh, it's only $1.50, and they grab it. Not realizing that if you do that every time you go to the grocery store every week, you've thrown away what your interest would have been on another investment. So to make a long story short, that's the rationale behind it.
Absolutely. No, I love it. And that's what I really liked about your class, because you go into not only like what's the cash flow, what's your actually in pocket every single month, but what are the taxes going to do for you?
Right.
Like all of the depreciation, everything you get to write off.
Right. So
that's huge. And then I took it kind of a step further, and I figured out how to make like 5 times more than what I was making on my long-term rentals, but short-term rentals, which is totally possible as well. And that's another passive income strategy. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more on the cruise. I know some of you are very interested in the Airbnb model as well.
Yep.
So we'll get to that.
And that's the cool thing about the cruise, is that not only do we do the continuing education, but it's the discussions that take place around the swimming pool and in the And the hot tub discussion last year that we had, we spent an hour and a half in the hot tub. We all came out looking like wrinkled old people when we got out. But the discussions that you have with the other agents on board the boat, you get the connections that allow you for referral partners. You may not be interested in a property in Raleigh, but you may have a friend that's interested, and then you get those connections to purchase those properties, and that's where the huge benefit comes from.
So I have to ask you, and forgive me because I'm going to tag myself and you. I forgot to do that here. So what was your favorite part about the cruise last year?
Well, my favorite part about the cruise is I probably don't remember, because the parties in the lobby area with the cruise director was a lot of fun. We had a disco night, we had a sing-along night. It was a lot of fun. But I think my favorite thing was actually going to Bermuda. I had never actually been to Bermuda before, and we took a ferry over from the port to Hamilton, Bermuda, and then we rented. Remember those little bitty cars
that was rented? So fun.
And of course, the biggest problem was that we took off, and I took off down the left side of the right-hand side of the road, realizing I was on the wrong side.
Yep.
And just about hit somebody head on. And I'm still not sure what that man said, but
I'm
pretty sure it wasn't, "Hey, welcome to Bermuda." I think he was telling me to go home, but it was a lot of fun.
It was. We all split up, and getting around there is kind of crazy, but we all met up at the end.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, that amazing beach that we went to.
Yep, we had a lot of fun there and found that private beach, and then we went to a more public beach, had some dinner, and then went back to the boat that night. It was the experience was just amazing. So somebody's trying to call him. Decline that.
Yes, let's decline that.
Okay, live video's back on. Sorry, we're live on Facebook and Instagram. We're live on InstaChat, Faceagram, and Snapbook.
And I just learned more about TikTok, so I guess I gotta get on TikTok.
My daughter got me on TikTok, so now we gotta do on TikTok. Who knows? Be like Kevin Hart.
Gotta keep
time for a TikTok.
Yes, I just saw Kevin Hart last week.
Yes.
He was in Vegas with us.
Yes.
You gotta keep up with technology, guys. So.
There you go.
So I know we had an amazing time on the cruise. Mm-hmm. I love your takeaway there with the little cars. They were so cute.
Yes.
But what do you think the biggest takeaway for the agents that came on the cruise with us? Because we had about 60 people on the cruise with us last year.
We did. And one of my favorite photos from all of last year was the photo of all of us on the stairs when we got everybody together and got the photo. But I think the biggest takeaway for the other agents was realizing, wait a minute, I can do this plan. I think that it was funny because only a few people took the first class, but the second time we offered it, it was packed again with people that took it over.
Yes.
And I think that makes a huge difference when other agents start recognizing, wait a minute, this is a great class. This is the fundamentals of investing, basically, that we're learning. And even though I may think I already know it all, because that's the big thing. Investors have a tendency to get very cocky, for lack of a better word. They think they know it all, and it never hurts to sit in a class for 4 hours if you can pick up something that's going to make you 0.5% more for every dollar that you're spending. That's a huge benefit. That's a takeaway, and I think that's a good benefit for people to understand, and where the value for those other agents came from. We had a couple of brand new agents on the trip that have kept in touch with me since then, that have since bought their first investment property and are now seeing the results of leveraging that money. And what we're teaching in those classes is how to buy your first one and purchase it, and then leverage it to purchase any future investments. And that's where your big difference is. It's just a question of how much risk you're willing to take on.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it any better. So this year's cruise is going to be a little different from last year's cruise. So I know all of you that went last year, I got some really good feedback, and I love that, but I want to make this different. And how I'm going to make this different is, number one, it's going to be for a little bit longer. We're going for an entire week. And I'll tell you where we're going, and then I'm going to tell you how it's different. So I have to look because I forget. So we're going to St. Martin. We're going to St. Kitts, San Juan, Puerto Rico, which, by the way, I have an amazing surprise in Puerto Rico for you. And then Grand Turk, which is like the Turks and Caicos. Turks and Caicos.
Turks and Caicos.
And so that is our port locations, and I'm super excited about those port locations. Number one, because I'm the traveling realtor, and I've been to 43 countries. I've never been to any of these countries before.
Me either. This is the first time for me too.
So this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
And when you first get on the boat, we're going to have a big welcome reception. So everyone's going to get, the lanyards with your name on it. And you're going to have a T-shirt.
It's going to be kind of like Mardi Gras. You're going to get a drink. You're going to get something to hang around
beads.
your neck.
Should we do beads or lanyards?
I think we should do beads with lanyards. If we do the beads right, we can hold our name tag and everything on the beads. Don't you
want to
think?
be in charge of the bead?
I can find the beads.
All right, so you're going to get something to go around your neck so that we'll all know that we're all together. And so that'll be at the welcome reception. So we all get to hang out then. And then I'm working on creating the dinners all together. So a 7 o'clock dinner is what I'm working on. And we're going to have one big area in the dining room with a bunch of long tables. And you're going to be able to have dinner with the rest of the group. No assigned seating, just like, hey,
we're going to make everybody move around each night so you don't get to sit next to the same people every night.
Yes. I love that.
Learn from others.
Yeah, you can learn so much. And the referrals coming from this are going to be amazing because we have agents from all over North Carolina.
Wait, we can make money off of referrals?
I'm passing 100 referrals this year.
Look at you, girl.
Yeah. Talking about multiple streams of income. Boom, referrals. If you're not doing referrals, if you're not putting yourself out there to get referrals, then you're missing the boat. Okay,
Absolutely.
Don't get me on that bandwagon.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to do all of that, and then we're also having, like I said, the special event in Puerto Rico. I will have more information about that later, but that's going to be an amazing brunch that we're going to have with a really, really, really amazing person. You guys are all going to freak out. And then we're also going to have a farewell party at the very end. And so this cruise is going to be, everyone's going to be, you're going to have more chances to connect with one another and learn from one another. Obviously, we have the CE classes that are going to be offered.
We're going to offer Big Up, Gen Up, and 2 CEs. So for those of you that did not go on the cruise, or those that went on the cruise last year, you can still take your Gen Up or Big Up and an elective, and then you're taken care of because last year you took 2 electives. So you're covered with your Gen Up or Big Up this year. So you'll have your CE completed by the end of the cruise for the 2021 year, and you'll have a carryover to the next year. And same thing for those of you that are taking, that come with us and take all of those classes, because you'll take a general update or a big update, and you'll take 2 electives, which means that you won't need another CE until as late as potentially spring of 2022. So that's what makes it even better. And the classes that we're offering are relevant. That's the other cool part about it.
Yeah, I've had agents reach out to me. They're like, I am so excited. I don't have to do CE in March, April, May when everyone's like cramming into classes because we got it done in September in Bermuda.
Exactly.
So it'll be the same exact situation. We'll get all of our CE done this year for next year, and we'll be in a beautiful location to do that. So why not?
There you go.
Awesome. So that's really what I wanted to cover with you guys. We're going to have more information. This is really our first outing on, hey, we're doing this cruise. The dates are October 10th through the 18th, and we're going out of a port in Florida. I want to say we're going out of Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Yes, and there are lots of hotels. So if you want to fly down, don't fly down the morning of the cruise. Fly down on Friday, late afternoon, early evening, and get there the night before so that if there are any delays, you've got time to cover it, because this boat is going to take off at 3 o'clock. We embark at 3 p.m. on the 10th, and you don't want to be in a situation where your flight's scheduled to land at 11 and then it gets delayed until 1 o'clock, and now you got to get from the airport to the dock and get checked in, go through customs, check your stuff. Make it simple. Come down the night before. There's some very cheap flights directly from Raleigh-Durham to Fort Lauderdale. There's also flights out of Charlotte, and there were flights out of Columbia and Roanoke that I saw too. So that it's possible to get there on direct flights from a lot of different places.
Yeah, absolutely.
And inexpensive.
Yeah, very inexpensive. So. And for those of you that want to come down the night before, I am thinking about getting a big Airbnb, and then we can all just pile up together. Or not all of us, but some of us can pile up together in an Airbnb.
There'll be a lot of people in an Airbnb.
Yeah, I'm thinking my minimum on this cruise is 100. My goal is 150.
Perfect.
So we're going to rock the boat, guys.
We're going to have big classes. Big classes.
We are. Well,
and by the way, if you can bring your spouse or your significant other, you don't have to, but you can bring them. Remember that we're setting this up so that you can write off the trip. So this is a tax benefit. Remember, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. So we're going to teach you on the boat how to save that money and to write off the entire cruise. Because every day that you have a conversation with another agent on there and you talk about the referral-based marketing and you take a class and you spend an hour and a half in session with us, you're going to be able to write that day off. So take the advantage of the opportunity, write it off, write the whole thing off to business. It'll be a blast. Only thing you can't write off to your business is your alcohol.
Yeah.
But there won't be much of that.
No, none of that. None of that.
No.
I might be drinking by then. We'll see.
They make really nice, fruity, icy drinks on the boat, and it's quite good when you're hot.
Oh gosh, yes. So there was a lot of fun being had last year. If you were on the cruise last year, tell us in the comment section what was your favorite part about the cruise last year. I'd love to hear about that. And also,
I like watching Ivan dance.
Ivan?
Remember watching Ivan dance?
I don't remember
Yeah,
Ivan.
Ivan was dancing in the club that night. I think it was to.
I wasn't at the club that night.
I think it was 80s music night. And then.
Oh yeah, I definitely passed.
Yeah, it was. We were told we had a great time. It was a blast.
I like the piano bar.
The piano bar was
fun. The piano bars
then,
are always fun.
And then the cowboy comedian was good too.
Oh my
He was
goodness.
Funny. He was
Charlotte is on here right now. Charlotte can tell you all about
Charlotte
the cowboy
Cox,
comedian.
my buddy. Whoop, whoop.
All right, guys, more information will be coming. We just wanted to put a bug in your ear and just let you know that it is being planned right now, October 10th through the 18th. And this is going to be an amazing cruise. I may even come out with some type of special where if you refer 3 agents to come, then you might get something for free. So you might want to check into that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm all about giving gifts and adding value. So this is going to be a complete added value trip. You're going to learn tons, and we can't wait to see you on the boat. So
very good.
Awesome.
All aboard.
All aboard. All right.
Okay, wait, before you log off. Who's that guy behind us?
I don't remember his name. I am so not into
We're gonna have to
sports.
work on,
That's bad.
We're going to have to work on your sports knowledge. We'll discuss that later. Bye, everybody. Have a good one.
Bye.